Hello everyone, Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching. I have another Monday quarterback video for you. I'm going to play this video and talk about things that are going on, a bit explain what's going on, and talk about things that I think that are being done right and or done wrong. Here we go.
Hey everyone, I'm Assistant Sheriff Yesenia Utomi, and I'm here to brief you on additional details as we know them today about the officer-involved shooting that occurred on Thursday, May 25th, 2023. This is officer-involved shooting number 2 for 2023. The second non-fatal shooting of this year. At the same time, in 2022, we had 5 officer-involved shootings, with 2 of those being non-fatal. This event was initiated as a stakeout on May 25th at approximately 8:40 p.m. The officer-involved shooting occurred in the 4000 block of West Flamingo Road in Las Vegas, Nevada, 89103. You can see the scene to my left. The officers involved are Detective Christopher Gowans. He is 45 years old and has been with the LVMPD since 2014. In this incident, Detective Gowans was armed with a Sig Sauer P320 9mm, equipped with a tactical light. The investigation revealed he fired 15 rounds during this incident. He is assigned to the Investigative Services Division, Major Violators, Narcotics Crime Bureau. The second officer is Officer Joshua Leach. He is 33 years old and has been with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department since 2020. In this incident, Officer Leach was armed with a Smith & Wesson M&P 9mm. The investigation revealed he fired 6 rounds during this incident. He is assigned to the East Community Policing Division, Northeast Area Command. The suspect is identified as Matthew Glunt. He is a 48-year-old white male adult, 6'1", 250 pounds. He is pictured to my left. Now, Glunt was armed with a CZ P10F 9mm handgun. The investigation revealed that Glunt fired 5 rounds. Glunt faces the following charges: burglary 3 counts, robbery 3 counts, attempt murder on a police officer 3 counts, resisting a public officer with a firearm 1 count, prohibited person possession of a firearm 1 count, carry concealed weapon without a permit 1 count. Now, Glunt has several priors, felony convictions. I will name a few: conspiracy to violate Uniform Controlled Substance Act, 2019, attempt robbery with a deadly weapon, 2016, and trafficking controlled substance, 2013, to name a few. Now, the details of the officer-involved shooting are as follows. Since May 14th, 2023, a series of commercial robberies occurred in Clark County, Nevada, between LVMPD and North Las Vegas jurisdictions. In each of the robberies, the suspect would enter a local business and demand money through a note. Through the course of the investigation, detectives were able to identify the suspect as Matthew Glunt. The LVMPD's commercial robbery section, Major Violators, and Repeat Offender Program combined their investigative efforts to locate and apprehend Glunt. On May 25th, 2023, at approximately 11 p.m., LVMPD detectives located Glunt near the 4000 block of West Flamingo Road. Detectives observed Glunt walking towards his vehicle, which was parked on the top of a nearby parking garage. Detectives approached Glunt and initiated verbal commands, to which he ignored. Glunt pointed his firearm towards officers. At the same time, an officer deployed his taser, but it was ineffective. At that time, Glunt discharged his firearm towards officers. This action prompted Detective Christopher Gowans and Officer Joshua Leach to discharge their firearms, striking Glunt several times. Officers were able to take him into custody and provide life-saving measures by applying a tourniquet as they summoned medical personnel. Fortunately, none of our officers were seriously physically injured during this incident. Glunt was transported to UMC Trauma, where he was booked in absentia, where he is currently listed as being in stable condition. I will now play for you several body-worn camera videos depicting the OIS.
Metro Police, you're on the fucking ground! 413, 413!
Now, as you can see in this still photo, this is our suspect, Matthew Glunt, as he is holding the firearm which is pointed at several of our officers. Now, the second video I will play, what you will see in this video is Glunt firing 2 rounds at our officers before we return fire.
Metro Police, you're on the fucking ground!
Now, this concludes our briefing, and we'll now take a few questions.
Can you say anything about the robberies that were being committed? What kind of businesses was this person robbing? And he's obviously at the Gold Coast. Was he intending to rob the Gold Coast?
Our public information officer will provide you with the 3 event numbers that are related. All right, well, that will conclude it. Thank you for your time.
Sorry, Devil.
So it's like, yeah, the media knows that this was a fuck around, find out kind of thing. Looks like there's some more right here, so let's...
You said that by this time last year there were 5 arrests. I thought that there were 7.
This time last year, I have that there were 5 officer-involved shootings, 2 of which were non-fatal. Thank you, sir. All right, thank you, everyone.
Okay, so that's it. So, wow, how come the media doesn't have anything to say about this incident? Or have, a whole bunch of questions to ask? Is it because it's very clear that this dude fucked around and found out? He very clearly pointed a gun at the officers and pulled the trigger at them? Or is it because he's white? I'll let you be the judge of that one. So, this guy has been involved in some serious stuff. This guy is a convicted felon. He's been in and out of the system multiple times, which is normal when it comes to incidents like this. You will often see people who end up shooting at police and doing stuff like this. You will see that those people have been involved in multiple crimes in their past. I mean, there are some people out there who don't have any arrest records. Now, just because they don't have any arrest records doesn't mean they haven't been committing crimes. They just were lucky enough not to get caught. But there are some people out there who just don't have arrest records who end up doing stuff like this. Not a lot, but there are some. The majority of the people who end up doing shit like this, they've been arrested multiple times before. These officers are on a stakeout due to some robberies occurring in the area at businesses. And they identified who it was. They know this guy is a felon, that he's been carrying guns before, and he's a violent individual. That alone should have dictated that they have rifles out instead of pistols. This is a high-risk stop. They're dealing with a known felon, a known armed felon who's robbing people. The chances of being involved in a gunfight with that individual are pretty high. So it's almost like knowing that you're going to a gunfight. And if you're knowing that you're going to a gunfight, you bring a rifle and you bring your friends with rifles. If these officers who fired in self-defense had rifles, he would not be a threat anymore. That's for sure. And it would have been better for officer safety had they had rifles. Unfortunately, they don't provide a whole lot of footage from this incident. They just kind of cut it kind of short. They just want to show the meat and potato of it, so to speak. I would have preferred they show a little bit more, because there's always some learning to be had when you get to see more.
Depicting the OIS.
So this first one is from this officer who was getting out of his vehicle.
Videos depicting the OIS.
So you see the car door. He's getting out. He's got his taser out. Boom. Dude very quickly pulls the gun. And it's low light, it's blurry, and it's shaky. So it's just can't see a whole lot. But you can see the green laser and the red laser. This is a taser device that utilizes two lasers. The top one is going to show where the approximate probe placement will be for the top dart, and then the red is where the approximate placement of the bottom dart will end up landing. Pretty cool, but in these kind of scenarios right here where there's a lot of movement and everything, and there's some distance involved with the moving target, I mean, it's almost a sure bet that you're going to miss one dart, maybe even both darts. And so this taser right here does have a 2 cartridge capability, which is nice, but still increased likelihood of missing. So taser is supposed to be coming out with a Taser 10. It's a whole radically new designed cartridge system where it has 10 darts inside of it, and each dart is fired independently. So one trigger pull means one dart gets fired, not 2 at one time. So that's kind of cool because that allows you to fire multiple darts until you get the desired effect of NMI. Would something like that have been better in this scenario? I don't think so. Not this particular one because it happened so quickly. But let's say he did not pull a gun and start shooting so quickly. I think that design would have been beneficial in this scenario. This officer could have been able to fire, multiple darts until he got enough decent hits to where it would be able to achieve NMI. Could another less lethal weapon have been utilized in this scenario when jumping out the car? Potentially. I think a paper ball gun could have been a decent choice. A multi-launch 40mm launcher, I think, could have been something. 12 gauge, maybe. My first thoughts are a paper ball gun because it has a hopper on there that holds multiple rounds, and you can lay down a heavy stream of continuous fire to get a desired effect out of it. You get the impact out of it, which hurts, and then you get the OC powder floating around that gets in their eyes and mouth and stuff. I like paper ball gun. I think they're pretty good. But anyway, nice attempt to want to use taser, but this scenario just doesn't work out very well. This guy is able to quickly turn and produce a pistol.
Mr. Police, don't fucking move!
It's so blurry, but this pistol, you can tell, has a red dot sight on it. And I'll back it up just a little bit more so that you can kind of see that again. This guy is running away. So they obviously have skipped the video enough to where you can't really see a whole lot. So let's go to this one. So we got, well, can't really see. So we got 60306, and then skip to this. We got 60306. So about this, almost about the same timing. I'm sorry, 60310. So 60310, 6036. Well, that doesn't make any sense. What was that? 6038. Okay, so 6039, 603. I can't see what that says. Okay, so when he first jumps out the car, he's at 603, 6-ish. And then when he fires taser, $603.05. All right, so there's a few seconds that elapse after he fires taser, and then we hear the gunfire. So this starts off right around, you hear that taser in the background being fired. So this was where he was turned around. You can see that red laser on him. So this was when he was turned around pointing that gun. Taser got fired. And then he decides to shoot. So some people would say that they have a problem with people being shot in the back as they're running away. I certainly see no problem in it whatsoever. And the Supreme Court seems to agree with that as well. So this would fall under Tennessee versus Gardner. This guy has shown that he is a substantial risk to the officers and the rest of the public. So although he has got his back turned, he's running away, this officer still uses deadly physical force. And it is perfectly legal, and it needs to remain to be perfectly legal. It's just unfortunate that the bad guy lived. And had this officer been utilizing a rifle, bad guy wouldn't be getting back up again to go victimize more people. There's an absence of weapon-mounted lights being utilized. Now, in the camera here, we don't get to see a whole lot. Under his human eye, we can see that there is lots of ambient light. There's a street light, or not a street light, but a parking lot tree light right here. So for his human eyes, he may be able to see enough and not have to have that weapon-mounted light activated. This is a flex camera, so keep in mind that the flex camera is not like the normal body cam where it's mounted to the chest or anything like that. So this is actually mounted to his head. You can kind of see the curvature of his head right here. So he is aiming through it. It has a different view and perspective than what a traditional body cam has, and so it kind of looks like he's just point shooting, but he's not. He's got this thing up in a two-handed grip, and he is aiming at this guy and firing. So out of all those charges that this guy has got and what he did, unfortunately, he's probably not going to spend the rest of his life in prison like he needs to. He will get out probably a lot sooner than what he should, and he's going to go right back to doing the same crap that he was doing. That is an unfortunate thing that happens all across the country here. We need a sweeping reform and justice. And not like how the rabid liberals envision. We need to get tough on crime. We need to make the criminals fear the criminal justice system again. It used to be a time that people feared the police. People feared the courts. It is now getting to the point where they don't fear them at all anymore. The courts have proven that they're a joke. And in some places, the police are a joke. I did a video in Seattle, Washington, where literally you see people jumping on the hood of a police car with a police officer inside of it. They're jumping on the hood of the police car, dancing on the car, throwing stuff at it, and taking barricades and pushing them towards the officer. Another dude on a skateboard, smashing a skateboard against the ground, and forcing the officers to throw their cars in reverse and leave. And they sat around and watched as all this shit went down. Basically became security guards, observe and report. Fortunately, that only happens in your really large, super liberal areas. That's not everywhere. But as more and more liberals gain power and have a say in stuff, it's inevitable that that type of crap is going to spread. And you can already see it in the courts. These crazy liberals have infiltrated the court system. I can tell you that here in Kentucky, it's rampant. I mean, it's just so full of crazy liberals that's why our court system is the way it is right now. The criminals are coddled and pandered and are treated as if they are victims. No joke. The criminals who perpetrate crimes against people are seen as victims. Victims of trauma, and they need trauma-informed care. It is like we have allowed the kindergartners and the first graders to take over the schoolhouse and start making decisions. That is literally what it's like. The elementary school is now being ran by the kindergartners and the first graders. What we need is the principals and the teachers to come back and take over control again. If that means using harsh words or paddling to put people back in their place, then so be it. But we as a society, we need to get a handle on this, or it's not going to be good. We are already heading towards chaos and anarchy. We are heading towards having an environment similar to what you see in other like third world countries. And we are supposed to be the superpower. We are supposed to be the first world country. I could go on a further rant, but I'm going to stop it right there. Not much else to talk about this video. If you like what you hear and see, go ahead and give me a like and a share. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more Monday quarterback videos. Earl Henderson, Primordial Defense. Thank you for watching.